it's Lindsay from My Crafty Plans. Welcome back to my channel, or if you are new here, welcome. Today I am going to be setting goals for the month of June, also known as breaking down my annual / quarterly goals for the month ahead. There are a few days left in May, but I am ready to dive in and get all of my June planner spaces set up. This is my MakseLife flagship planner. At the beginning of the year, I was using this for everything, weekly planning, goal setting, etc. But I've actually moved on to a different planner for my planning, but I am still using the MakseLife spaces for goal setting. And I've actually just made the decision that this is going to be my last month setting goals in here. I'm going to finish out the quarter and then I'm going to switch back to the companion notebooks for the end of the year, just because I'm like not using these planner spaces and I feel like I can scale things down. I may miss having all of the space for my monthly goals, because if you actually look at my May goals, I do use, like, at least for some of them, I do use a lot of the space, and the companion notebooks are smaller, but I still have companion notebooks left over from last year, so I think I'm gonna switch over to that for a little while. In May, I actually only set weekly actions one time. I just kind of worked off my monthly spread for the most part. And then also we had a super busy month, and then I got sick and I was like out for a full week, just like feeling awful. So I didn't really use my weekly actions very often. I just kind of kept this planner open to my May goals and really like that. I was still working on things in here and getting things done. I made really good progress on a lot of these, and I'll go through that in a little bit more detail in just a second. But yeah, I just didn't really use the weekly actions. I don't know what's gonna happen in June. I'm gonna kind of leave myself open to using it, not using it. But I am fully back using a weekly functional planner every week, which was a struggle for a good portion of this year, so maybe it's just like a one or the other kind of a thing. Either way, I still feel like I'm having a phenomenal year and like really making forward progress on a lot of my annual goals, so I'm not gonna be mad about, you know, skipping some pages, etc. Anyway, I am gonna grab out my quarterly goals here because we will be using that to set the June goals. I did also already fill out just like a couple of notes on the reflections pages. Basically, I just went through my goals and like pulled out some things that need to carry forward, some focuses for next month, and then some things that were working. And then separately, one of the questions in here is about like wins and highlights and stuff, but I've actually been doing that in my main functional planner, which is my Laurel Denise portrait planner. So this is like my weekly functional planner. It's got the monthly calendar here, the weekly spreads. I actually think my last video before this was the May setup and plan with me of this. So if you want to see that, definitely check that out. And then also stay tuned. I'll have a June setup video coming soon. But I do also do some journaling and memory keeping in here as well. So I have, this was like my wins and highlights. We had our first beach weekend, which we literally just had. We had some cousins in from out of town. The kids had a really cute book fair at school. My youngest had her kindergarten orientation. She's so big, I can't believe it. My last kid out of preschool next year, and all three of my kids are gonna be in the same school for 1 year and 1 year only next year. So fun. And then my oldest daughter was in a play and we got to see that. So it was really cute. And then I also do a line a day memory keeper in here as well. So I've actually been using this with the functional spaces, but also I've been able to bring back like a little bit of journaling and memory keeping, etc. To my life. I actually think one of the reasons that I have shied away from weekly actions this month is the monthly habit tracker that's in this planner. I've been finding the monthly habit tracker extremely functional. In a way that I never found weekly habit trackers. So yeah, I don't know that. And then that ends up taking care of like half my weekly actions because a lot of them are habit based. So anyway, that's just what's been going on with me from a planner perspective. I am actually gonna just try and do this video as talk through rather than sped up this month. I don't know why, just in the mood to have a chat. But anyway, I'm gonna get started with the June decorations at the top, and we can chat through my goals in the meantime. So in May, honestly, like I feel like I accomplished kind of everything except for the physical environment. I did not do that. So we bought new paintings for the living room. So we can start with that. We bought new paintings for the living room. I cannot wait to share them with you. I definitely will. And they're not here yet. So the final styling of the living room and stuff is waiting for that. But I actually just got notification that they're shipping from the framers today, so we will have them very soon. So that's being carried forward to June. I did do the outside spaces cleanup. Our backyard is looking very good right now. And then everything else I just like didn't really do. I didn't spend any time working on the home hub this month, even though I said I was gonna do that. And I also had put there that I wanted to deep clean the kitchen and start on like sorting out stuff from the kids' room, like toys, clothes, whatever, and get those like in better shape. And I did not do either of those things. And the kitchen yeah, the kitchen is really needs to be done, and I really don't want to do it. So we're gonna have to see about that, but probably try and make that happen this month, because again, it is like really not in okay shape right now. It's just like, I don't know, there are certain drawers I just open them and I'm just like, this needs to be done. I need to like vacuum out all the drawers and wash it. It's just a lot, and I just really don't want to do it. But yeah, anyway, other than that, I thought I was going to be able to finish using up the last of my leftover ClassPass credits. Unfortunately, because I got sick, that did not work out. However, I'm still at the point or past the point where I'm losing credits, so still like very much on track to handle that this summer. I probably will even be able to do it. Actually, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it in June, just because we end up, the kids end school in June, and then they've got a little bit of time off between camp ends, when camp starts and when school ends and when camp starts. And I don't usually go to exercise classes when the kids are like off or when it's the weekends and stuff. So I probably won't be able to finish it this month, but I should be able to finish it next month. Just like using up the last of my credits there. Anyway, overall exercise classes, like going to classes, has been going super well, and it's been really fun. Oh, and this was one of my May. I hit 25 rides at SoulCycle, and they give you like, I don't know, they let you blow out a candle, and it's a whole, they do like a really cute job celebrating it. And I kind of love that because like, I don't know, I feel like we don't celebrate our small wins enough, and like we should definitely celebrate small wins. It's also, I don't know, they just make it really fun. So anyway, I did that last month, but yeah, other than that, stuff is going good. There was like a lot of school stuff and like school related admin or camp related admin that had to get done, and I made really good progress on that. I got a lot accomplished on that, so that ended up taking, again, a bunch of time, but it's done. Although this month is obviously, that's going to be a huge focus, because now, you know, I've already started the ordering process for camp, but I will have to start the packing process for camp as well. And yeah, if you don't know, my oldest goes to overnight camp. This will be her second summer. She's very excited to go back to camp, and we're very excited for her. Packing for overnight camp is intense. So I've got, you know, I've got to get her all packed up for the summer, and then also, you know, the kids, the little ones, my two other kids will go to day camp. So we just got to make sure we've got like enough supplies and everything. And then I always feel like we're running low on like summer clothes and everything, because my mom lives at the beach, and we usually go like almost every weekend. I think I'm gonna use that. So we go almost every weekend, so we leave clothes there. And then I feel like the kids need so much stuff for camp, but then they also need like so much stuff for the beach. So I feel like, especially bathing suits, we need a lot of bathing suits to make it through the summer, which is great. But it's like impossible I have so many summer stickers, so we're gonna use them. All of this stuff is really old. If you don't know, I'm been on a thing for like a year and a half now to not buy any new stickers. I am still buying washi. I'm not buying stickers, and use the stickers I have. That's the new part this year. So I've been trying to like incorporate more stuff from my old memory planning days into my planner here. And like, I've got like, look at all these seashell stuff. So, and I always have a lot of summer stuff, because summer is, yeah, probably my favorite time of year. I love beach life. And yeah, we've got it. All right, so I'm gonna use one of these Hello Summer stickers. That's really cute. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, but so I don't really want to buy the kids new clothes until I like have more been through their existing clothes, to make sure that I'm not, you know, buying a bunch of things that we don't need. But then we had our first beach weekend last weekend, and my youngest like had to ended up, it was kind of cold, so she had like pants with her and stuff, but we ended up having to take her bathing suit off because she was like so uncomfortable because it was so small on her. So anyway, so we need some new bathing suits. That's very cute in the corner there. I love having the little sparkle up at the top, and it's been a fun way to use more stickers. So let me take back a look at my goals while I decorate. Yes, like the workout stuff. Again, I did 1 to 2 classes each week except for the week that I was sick, so I didn't end up getting to work off the last of that surplus, but I'm close. On the fun and recreation category, we're having a great time. We had like a big party for Mother's Day that was super, super fun. With just like all the cousins came over, and we had a really good time and cooked some good food, all kinds of stuff. So it was a really, yeah, I don't know. I love hosting, so that was fun. And now I'm in like a very beachy state of mind right now, just because we just got back from the beach. And then I was like, all right, let's set some June goals. I use one of these like little seashell mandalas, so cute. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I think I give myself, what did I give myself? I gave myself an 8 overall for the month. I'm feeling really good right now. I didn't get done quite as much as I would have hoped, but I got really sick. And I don't know, this year, I mean, like I'm having like a really great year and stuff, but I swear I've never been sick more than I have been this year. And it hasn't been a bad year for the kids at all, thankfully. I have just been sick so many times this year, which I feel like usually I don't get sick. I don't know. This is, yeah, it's just been a really difficult year. And this was like an insane knock me out for almost a full week. Oh my gosh, and the one I had like 2 work calls with clients, which I don't usually do like a lot of little work calls like that are client facing. And I had 2 back to back, and I swear I was like delirious by the end of the second one. I immediately went to bed and fell asleep, and like woke up 2 days later. I had to have my husband like pick the kids up from school. I was so sick. Anyway, all right, so these are my quarterly goals. I am ready, and in case you can't tell, I am feeling 100% better now. But I am ready to dive in, and I think I'm gonna start with, let's start with family and relationships, just because that one's like super easy. One, I do feel like the kids stuff and like the kid flow is going really well. It's also the end of the year, so it's in terms of like activities, routines, we're just transitioning to summer. We're wrapping it up. The big thing that is on the agenda this month, and it's like probably the #1 priority of everything, is just the camp prep. Because camp is coming whether you are ready or not, and you know, bags are due when bags are due, and you have to have all of the supplies purchased, assembled, labeled, and packed by the day that they have to be done by, which I actually don't know what the specific date is, but it'll be like, I don't know, somewhere in the neighborhood of like June 20th, somewhere like not that specific day, but somewhere in that neighborhood. I will have to drop my daughter's bags off for the summer, and then that's it. But so there's going to be like a lot of work that has to be done before that to get them ready. Cause like, again, everything has to be labeled. I have to make sure I've got everything on the list. And that includes like the official list that you get from camp, and then the unofficial list that is full of like things my daughter has requested now that she's been there one summer already and knows, and like, you know, and on like the gossip chain from the other parents and stuff. So anyways, there is just a lot that has to get done. I'm gonna say like shop, label, and pack. And then on top of that, again, making sure my younger kids have everything that they need for the summer as well. You know, they'll pack their bags every day from school. So I'm actually even leave you know, they'll need their bottles of sunscreen to put in their backpacks, and you know, I'll need to make sure I've got enough camp towels and all that kind of stuff. There's just so much stuff to assemble. But then they get to have fun, and we love camp. I loved going to camp as a kid, and I love that my kids get to go to camp, and day camp, overnight camp, all of it. It's great. I think it's fantastic, and the kids can swim every day and be outside and have fun, and yeah. Okay, and then the other things here is just like kind of have a fun end of school year. So just like end of school year stuff. And lots of outside time. We've been going, our activities are like starting to wrap for the year, and we've been going to the playground a lot after picking up my daughter from preschool, which has been super fun, plus playing outside on our own stuff. Speaking of which we have like a few activities that are still remaining. Like my daughter's play is done. It was finished last month, so she doesn't have rehearsals anymore. She doesn't have choral rehearsals anymore for like the school chorus either. Kids have a few more weeks of, the kids don't have Hebrew school anymore. That's done for the year. The kids have a few more weeks of tennis, and today is their last piano lesson. But and then a few more weeks of golf. But golf we usually keep for the summer. We just have to pick a new time for it. So anyway, that is the last thing. Wrap on activities for the school year, and then any summer activities, which we don't keep hardly anything because honestly, the camp day is shorter than the school day, but 10 times as exhausting. These kids, when they get home from camp, are just absolutely exhausted. And then obviously my oldest daughter is away for the summer, so she is not doing any, activities at home over the summer. She is just doing camp. I think it's nice to give the kids like a break too. Especially we have had like a rough end of the activities year, and we're definitely reevaluating what activities we want to do next year. And then we won't book anything on the weekends over the summer because again, we go to the beach almost every weekend. I feel like I left all of this empty space and I'm not really sure what to do with it. I think I might put in a sticker. Well, I put my sticker somewhere. Maybe I'll do that at the end. All right. Okay. So that is what is going on for family and relationships. I can actually even give myself a focus this year. So anyway, the focus is camp prep. I'm gonna swing over to physical environment. I'll highlight that after it dries for a second. So let's swing over. I have so much stuff on my desk right now. I'm like sliding into things. Okay, so for physical environment, I am going to kind of copy over a lot of the things that didn't get done in May, which is almost everything. So I'm pretty much actually just gonna copy everything over. So I only accomplished one thing on the list. So I wanna work on the home hub, and I'm just gonna be a little bit more specific here. So just wanna make a plan for all of the projects, big and small, and then like get them like roughly scheduled and organized, because I really need to clean the kitchen, like I said, but my husband and I have been like talking about attempting to DIY a bathroom. So I don't know if we're gonna do that or not, but like let's just make the list, get everything all set up, and then let's get some stuff. Okay, so then also we've got the living room style. This one may end up getting punted besides like hanging the new paintings that come. But then the kitchen I feel is kind of desperate. So I'm gonna put that, that's so messy. Let's try that again. The kitchen, I don't really want to do it, but I feel that it is like really disgusting and needs to be done. All right, so the whole kitchen needs to be deep cleaned. I haven't decided if it would be better to do all at once or like break it apart in, over like a couple of weeks. Like say I'm gonna do the drawers one day and some other drawers the other day. I don't know, kitchen is mostly drawers, so what are you gonna do? Anyway, it just needs to be done. And then the living room, and then the big thing is the other one that is kind of related to the camp stuff. So this one I do feel will get done just because it makes packing and getting ready for camp so much easier, is like the kids' rooms. Like the clothes are essential for deciding whether or not to purchase new things for the summer. But while you're doing that, like sorting all their stuff, cleaning out their toys, my oldest has like the habit of keeping like every spare bit of art, paper, notes from friends, homework assignment, literally everything from the entire year, and like not keeping it organized, just like keeping it such that it looks like she's got like mountains of trash in her room. And she cleans it up when we ask, and she's old enough that she like, can take a pretty active role in the cleaning of it. So we did this last summer too, where we had her really like do a very thorough, like clean out your whole desk, your whole nightstand, all of that stuff. But I also feel like she's like age-wise matured a lot this year, and we could probably take a lot of the toys out of her room at this point and just keep the stuff that she plays with, which is pretty much like she's super obsessed with American Girl dolls. And I don't think she really plays with anything besides like American Girl dolls and Legos anymore in terms of like toys stuff that's in her room. So kind of getting rid of some of the other stuff, and which can go to her siblings or go to our basement to the playroom. Anyway, so a lot of stuff home-wise to get done. And I feel like a lot of this, the kid stuff that needs to be done is also like very home oriented, cleaning oriented, that kind of stuff. So I feel like that is going to be how I spend a good chunk of time this month. I'm going to go up to fun and recreation, where we only have two things. One of which is that we need to finish planning this vacation that came up in August. I had an opportunity through work come up, and usually I only ever go like not great places that I wouldn't bring the family, but I am actually getting the chance to go somewhere in Canada that I thought would make like a really fun vacation for the family. I only have to do meetings for like 2 days, and then, you know, that it's a really far flight to just go for 2 days anyways. So I think we're gonna go for a week and bring the kids, my husband, everybody, and make a vacation out of it too. So anyway, we have to finish planning that. So it's got like flights, like the final schedule, and then where the place is in a city. This is in Western Canada, so we're gonna be in a city, and then for a little bit, and then I think we're gonna go to like one of the more ski areas, even though obviously we're not skiing, it's gonna be in August, but there's lots of fun stuff to do there in the summer. And I actually used to go to Western Canada a lot as like a kid, but I haven't been since I was in like college. Schedule, and then like, okay, so just a few things to figure out related to that. All right, and then other than that, it's just enjoy the beach. I'm just gonna swing over to finance. Just, again, nothing new going on there, nothing fancy. Maintain and use trackers. Oh, and then also, I guess there's a tax payment in June. Wow, I'm having some stencil problems. All right, I just moved so much. I'm gonna move that down. All right, I'm gonna go up to health and wellness, where I'm not gonna say the like class things. I'm gonna say 1 to 2 classes per week during school and like camp weeks, because the kids will be in camp by the end of the summer. The kids will be in camp by the end of the month, but on the week off, I don't plan to go to any. It's like, why did I write a W? I wanted a K, but I didn't. I wanted a W. I don't know what's going on. Okay, so during the camp weeks, during camp or school, basically when I have childcare, go to exercise classes. When I don't have childcare, you know, hang out with my kids. Also, now it's summer, weather is getting nicer, and especially during the summer, we like to, during the weekends while we're at the beach, we like to walk a lot, so I'll just put take walks. I don't want to give it like a number yet. I probably will by like July, but I'm just gonna say take walks. And then, as always, bedtime, and I've teeth. I was gonna say I had to, okay, I don't know, we've got teeth routine. I had kind of a bad dentist appointment, my first one in a while, because I just got put back to like the regular twice a year recall, and then immediately they were like, no, actually we can't do that. So anyway, I'm back on going 3 times a year. I just don't think I'm ever going to be able to just go twice a year to the dentist. It just doesn't work for me. Anyway, tooth routine. I've now got an expanded skincare routine. I had ChatGPT make me like a alternating serum skincare routine. It was actually really cool because my face was like feeling very tingly after I did a peel, and I was like, well, I don't want to use my tretinoin because that's going to irritate it more. Like, what should I use? And I was like, these are some products I have, and it told me what to use. And then I was like, oh, well, let me put in all of my products and have it tell me what I should do. So that worked really well. If you're gonna do that, definitely like, this is how old I am, this is what my skin is roughly like, these are problem areas, not problem areas, and it made me a whole routine. So now I've been doing that for like about a week. And then bedtime, 10 p.m. Same as it's been all year, and it's been going really well. But yeah, I just feel like all of this is I feel like a different person than I felt at the end of last year. I was in just such a bad space at the end of last year, and I feel like totally back to my regular self, totally, you know, back on with goals, even though I'm touching my planner physically less than I was before, and like I'm like writing things down about goals less than I was before, but like I'm actually getting a lot done. So even though that can feel kind of strange, I'm just kind of trying to embrace that because obviously I'm doing something right. Anyways, then on work, I don't really have very much going on. Summer is always pretty slow for me work-wise, but I think it's just like, yeah, I don't know, I'm just gonna write like the same thing. I did a good job last month. I've still got like that ongoing project. Might even just copy the same thing, so it's just continue being productive. I mean, don't like make up work for myself, obviously, but you know, I have things that I can do when I'm not busy, which I'm super not busy right now, and you know, doing them, but also letting myself have some downtime. And this slower time, or the slower year, honestly, this year is definitely much slower than last year in terms of like the quantity of work I have. And I mean, I work freelance, so that is reflected in my income, but I expect that I will make less money than I did last year, but still like a very decent amount of money where we're happy with things. And it's kind of nice after how busy I was last year and how much growth I had last year to just be able to take it like a little bit easier, and, you know, still feel like I'm accomplishing things though. Okay, in the spiritual and personal growth category, I just wrote follow my energy or follow your energy. I'm still vibing with that as like a mantra. So I think I'm gonna put that in, but I have a few other things that I need to put in this category. So I'm gonna put that here. I'm gonna put my this month. Last month I had like a really big debate about whether to write my or your, and eventually went with your, but I think I'm gonna go with my. And then, okay, so there's just like a lot of PTO stuff that goes on at the end of the year that I have to handle, like making sure that the finances get all finished up and like closed out so that we can file our taxes over the summer, because our PTO is a 501c organization, and I have to file, and our fiscal year ends at the end of June, so then I can file our taxes in July. It's super, super easy. Unlike personal taxes, just making sure everything's all closed out. There was something else that I was gonna write in there. I've been doing a much better job with like the reflections and the journaling, using the Laurel Denise planner for that. So maybe that's like still. Okay, and then I'm gonna give myself a reading goal, which I like never give myself a reading goal. I've mostly been reading on my iPad for a while now, and I just found my Kindle. I have two Kindles, but I found one of them on airplane mode from last summer. That was the last time I picked it up, and it has library books that have like long since been returned, and a bunch of library books that I haven't read. And I was like, oh, some of these sound so good, and I started reading one of them, and like one of them was like the Emily Henry that was released last year that I just never ended up reading. So I was just gonna try and read through my iPad. Read through my airplane mode Kindle. What was this one supposed to be? Oh, journaling. Right. And then in the personal category, I don't think I have anything like specific that I want to work on. Again, most of the stuff that I need to do is in like the home category. Yeah, I think it's just the kind of the same as last month. Just like stay on top of planners and planning. But I guess actually a lot of it is going to be like staying on top of like those physical deadlines. Like, yeah, like, you know, I got to use my planner, all the planners this month, making sure everything gets done when it needs to get done by, because it needs to get done, right? And it might take me like 4 hours to label all the kids' clothes, like because physically I can't move my hands any faster than that to put the little labels on everything. I don't know if that's actually how much time it would be. I can't remember from last year. So maybe I'll time myself and I'll let you know. But it's a lot of time either way. And like folding everything, packing everything. Yeah, anyway. while still like, you know, taking the kids to the stuff that they need to be getting done, doing my work, accomplishing all of that. So this is like, that's basically all of the projects that I have time for this month. And then, yeah, I think it's just like, again, be realistic and have fun with content. If you follow me other places besides YouTube, you'll notice that I've been posting like a lot more regularly, and that's been going really well. YouTube long form videos is definitely the hardest to keep up with the editing, so it's just gonna kind of be what it is for right now. But if I've been posting a lot of YouTube shorts, so if you watch YouTube shorts, you can check out more, and you can find me on Instagram and TikTok if you want to know like more stuff that's going on kind of in real time. But fortunately, with like a lot of home stuff going on and a lot of the camp packing, I will definitely film like a good chunk of that. The camp packing stuff in particular tends to be fairly popular on TikTok. I think my most viewed TikTok of all last year was actually an unpacking video where I was unpacking my daughter from camp and like washing all of her stuff that came home, which was absolutely disgusting and wet. Anyway. If you are sending stuff to camp, the like rule of thumb is definitely just like assume it's going to get ruined, because yeah, it might. Not everything was ruined. We did have some stuff that we were able to like, you know, keep, but a lot of stuff gets ruined at camp. I'm gonna use some of these stickers, just add in like a little bit more seashells. Definitely a heavily decorated spread this month, but that's fine. I'm probably going overboard, but again, use those stickers. Anyway, let me know something fun that you'll be doing this summer, or like a goal that you're working on. Do you feel like your year feels very different in the summer than it does in the rest of the year? Like I feel like I live a completely different life in the summer than I do the rest of the year. And those are my June goals. I hope you enjoyed planning with me. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you hadn't already. Stay tuned. My June setup video in my Laurel Denise planner will be coming hopefully soon. You can also check me out on Instagram and TikTok for even more planner fun, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.